Hey everybody, welcome back out. Today is a really important day and we are laying out our footings. It's critical that these are right and in the right location, the right length, that they're square, all that good stuff, because this is literally the foundation for the entire house. So if these are off, it's going to mess everything up. So a lot of math going to be going on today, and I am no mathematician, so wish us luck. All those whippersnappers out there sitting in math class in high school or whatever and thinking, oh, I'm never going to use this stuff, this is crazy, blah blah blah. Right here's where you're going to use it. If you end up in any of the trades, young people, math is extremely critical. Whether you're shooting grade, figuring out slopes, percentages, whether you're grading, laying pipe, plumbing, putting in water sewer lines, it doesn't matter. You use an enormous amount of math in the trades. So there's your tip for the day of how to better yourself, you little whippersnappers, and prepare yourselves for life. So here we go. We got our we got a paint can so we can lay out our footers. They're going to be 24 inches wide. Here where we are in Henderson County, Henderson County deems the frost line at 12 inches deep, but we're going to go a little deeper than that. We'll probably go 24 inches wide, probably going to go 16 inches deep just to give us a little more buffer. Got our 100-foot tapes so that we can pull diagonals and when we're trying to make sure everything's square. We got our flagging so we can flag all the corners, all the lines, make sure we know where we are and everything's making sense. And what else we got? Got us a notepad to write down all the numbers, do math, draw pictures, whatever, because you do not want to mess this up. This will help us make sure everything's correct. And then we also got our house plans. I'll actually whip them out and I'll show you exactly what our house is going to look like. Hopefully you can see this. So this is what our house is going to look like. Kind of see, this is the front, kind of a side view. Front door here, a drive-in garage up top, 2-car garage. This here is the basement, the back. So you can see we'll have a wraparound drive-in garage in the basement, daylight basement in the back. So there you go. That's the overview of what the outside of our house is going to look like. And then I'll show you the foundation that we're going to be laying out, if I can find it. So here's kind of the basement, a floor plan of the basement. So this will be all block walls around through here. This is actually our garage, so this will be a slab on grade. We'll sit up where Mr. Tommy's machine is sitting right now is where our garage is going to go, the upper garage. And actually where we're looking right here into the basement, this is where you're going to pull into the garage in the basement, almost exactly right here. So all these corners today, we're having to lay all these corners out and make sure that all the way down into here, all this has to be exactly right. It has to be square. In every corner, probably our max tolerance today, we're looking at we're going to try to be within a 1/2 inch today on our tolerances to get our footers poured. That should be more than close enough for footers. But when we start actually lay the block, I'm trying to get our surveyor to come back, set a pin at every corner for the block. That way our block mason can pull string lines, and it will be exact. I mean, it should be within 1/8 of an inch when our surveyor shoots it in. So that won't give our block mason any excuses if he's, you know, 1 inch out of square or whatever when he gets to the top of the block wall. Then we'll know for sure that he started with exactly what he needed. But the foundation is critical. If your block is 1/4 inch out of square, 1/2 inch out of square, or 2 inches out of square, the more it is off, the more problems you're gonna have when you start trying to set roof trusses, trying to build walls, things like that. So the more accurate this can be, then the easier it's gonna be when you start to do your framing. Because you do not want to try to fix something that is, or build something that's 2 inches out of square or out of level. Even if your block is not level, it's going to make your floor not level. We'll show you kind of what we're doing. I'm not sure how much we'll be able to video as far as the exact, you know, nitty gritty numbers and all that as far as this, to show you what we're doing. But we're going to get started. So here we are on the back of the old tailgate here. And so what we did, because we have a lot of corners in this house, and especially in the foundation, that make this very complicated to lay out. All these corners, you have to hit the right spots. So what we did, because you can't really just start at one corner and just work your way around, what we did is we wanted to get 4 points that we knew that were fixed and work off of those. So basically we want to get a point over here, a point here, a point here, because we knew this corner, and we ended up setting a point here. And what we did, you see this dotted line, is based on all the measurements through here of all these different places, all these different measurements. We came up with a length for here and a width here, and this length obviously mirrored the other one to here, and then this length mirrored here. So what we did is we made one big box here, and we flagged out this big box, or we staked it. We put a metal rod here, or where? About here we put a metal rod. Here we put a metal rod. Right here we put a metal rod. And in this corner we put a metal rod. And then what ultimately we did is we pulled a string. We made sure it was exactly square. We made one big rectangle here. Made sure it was exactly square. And then we pulled a string line. We pulled a string from this stake all the way down to this one. So we had one long string line. Then we pulled a string line from here over to here. Then we pulled a string line from here down to here. And then we had to do a bunch of math. You'll see a bunch of numbers in here where we've done a bunch of math. And what this math is determining, and then you see them also going this way, is determining the length, the distance off of this perfectly square rectangle that we made in here. So from this string line here, that dotted line, see this dotted line? That's just out in the field. That's where we pulled our string. From this string to the outside face of this block was 16 feet. And we used math and different measurements throughout the plans to figure out that length. Here is 12 feet. Right here it gives us this one. So from this string line to that outside face of the masonry unit is 2 foot 8 inches. Same thing over here we did. Based on some measurements, we figured out this is 24 feet. Because you knew, here's a great example. We knew from here to here is 12 feet. See that number, 12 feet. All right. Well, we had already figured from the string line to here was 12 feet. So it's from the string line here to here, it's the same distance as here to here. So it's 12 feet plus 12 feet. Told us this is 24 feet. So that's just an example of how we had to figure all these out. And then we did some math, figured out this is 8 feet off the string line. And then these numbers here, these lines I've hand drawn in, are distances on this string line. All I have to do is come to this stake, pull 100-foot tape down through here, lay it on the ground, and then this tells me from on that 100-foot tape at 6 feet is this corner. It tells me at 6 feet from that stake to here is a corner. Same thing here. 30 feet 4 inches is this corner from that stake, and so on. 55 feet to this corner. This corner is 39 feet, 62 feet 8 inches to that corner, or what would be this corner right here, and this corner. What else we got? This corner out here is 75 feet 11 inches from that metal stake. So we'll lay 100-foot tape down through here, and we'll either put flags or paint marks all along this line where these corners hit, all the way down through here. And then we can measure this distance that we figured to find all these distances and make some sense of this and get it as close as we possibly can. So hope that's as clear as mud. You kind of see back here on the back, we did the same thing for this is the daylight basement side. Same thing, 75 feet 5 inches from here down to this corner. From here, it is 62 feet 1 inches to this corner and that corner from this, where we have this stake sit right here. So again, we'll lay 100-foot tape down through here, and we'll put tick marks or flags where all these corners are, and then we'll measure over however far they are offset off of that string line to give us our location. And then we'll have to do some other fancy stuff. For instance, here, this will have to be square. We'll have to pull diagonal measurements in here to make sure that this is perfectly square so it's not off. Same thing here, diagonal measurements, all that good stuff. These corners here are great. Here, 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 because they are actually on the string line, so we don't have to do anything. Just a tick mark, and that's the corner, that's the corner, that's the corner, that's the corner. So that's just a little bit of how we went about the math of laying this thing out, figuring out where our corners were, keeping it as square as possible, as clean as possible. So we've laid out the 4 corners I was talking about earlier for giving us our base, basically like a baseline square rectangle of the house, to where we can work off of that and pull measurements off of that. And in doing that, this is kind of what we've ended up with. So that's one stake. The other one's right over here. Right here, which we're gonna have to do a step down footer here to get down to some good dirt. And you can see over there where that stuff's piled up, that's our other stake. It's 80 feet, exactly 80 feet. And then right here in that corner, you barely see another one. And in doing that, we started pulling our measurements off from the front of the house. We realized we have a couple places we needed to shape the basement a little more. So right here in this section where Tommy's working, we had to take another 3 feet of material out so that our footers would fit. And we would actually have enough room over here on the outside of the block. Once the block's laid, we have enough room over here to get in there and do our water sealing and all that sort of thing on the outside of the foundation, so we don't have any moisture problems. So just a little bit of work left to do, and this basement will be officially done. And then we'll be digging footers. So that's, but yeah, that's a 5-minute crash course in how to lay out the corners of a house for your footers, your foundation, and all that good stuff. So hope that's beneficial to somebody out there. Hopefully my grandkids will be able to watch that and hopefully figure out how to do that. I'm sure by then there'll be some way to do it on your cell phone or something. But right now we don't have it unless your surveyor comes out and does it. And he couldn't make it out, so got to do it the old-fashioned way, by hand. Hope everybody's doing well, and we'll see y'all later.